Here. Birthdays and anniversaries. Tomorrow, Bill Sharp celebrates his birthday. Rick celebrates on the 5th. And Jennifer has a birthday on the 7th. Happy birthday, guys. Today, Alan and Pat Weimer celebrate 57 years.
Wow.
Alan, Pat. And Roadversaries, Risky celebrates 4 years on the 8th. Thank you for being in the club. Thank you for all that you do. So we're going to talk a little bit about that for a second. We're going to do a Rotary Minute. We haven't done that since November of last year. So let's see, Emily, would you like to tell us about you and
Here or there? What do you want?
it doesn't matter wherever you want to speak.
Okay, well, so she asked me to talk a little bit about my involvement in Rotary and why I'm in Rotary. I think technically my involvement in Rotary predates my age, but you're gonna have to talk to Dad about the details of that one, but that's what I've been told. So I've been in a Rotary for like.
That's a story that you all would like to hear someday.
Yeah, so I'll let him tell that story later, but so I grew up in Rotary, around Rotary, and some of my best childhood memories actually in Front Royal involved Rotary and involved things that we did through Rotary. And so, I mean, I can tell you stories about exchange students. I can tell you stories about picnics. I can tell you stories about things that we did in this club when I was a kid. And for me, growing up in Front Royal, it was such a gift because it made my world so much bigger. I had an understanding of the world in such a major way. And you know, some of you heard me talk about like what's going on in Ukraine. Well, we used to have the Ukrainians were here. I mean, it just made our my life so much bigger as a kid, and it also made me feel so connected to the greater global community coming from Front Royal, Virginia. And so one of the reasons why I am still in Rotary, why I participated with Rotary, and one of the things that's important to me is just the interconnection. I mean, here we are in Front Royal, Virginia, but we're connected to different countries and all over the place, and we're all working to do something good and something that's more important than our individual selves. And that was a gift that I was given as a kid by being in a Rotary family, and I hope everyone else gets to enjoy that today and participating. So thank you.
Thank you. We're also going to hear from Jeannie.
Hi, my name is Jeannie Clark, and I've been in Rotary for about 12 years. If you guys remember Michael Williams, he was my sponsor and brought me in. I was really kind of reluctant and scared to join because at the time, full-time career, 2 young kids at home, and I was finishing my master's degree, and I'm like, Michael, I can't do this. And he's like, just come to me when you finish your master's degree and we'll loop you in. And so finally, after about 2 years, Michael talked me into it, and I was really, really blown away. Even though I've grown up in this community, I had no idea how many projects that Rotary does in our community, not just for the groups and the organizations, but just throughout to improve the aesthetics of our community and make it a beautiful place to live. So I really love that place of it. But the quiet surprise I wasn't expecting about Rotary that I took a lot of encouragement from, and I hope I don't embarrass someone in this room, was, and for you ladies in this room, this isn't a woman thing, but for you ladies in this room that just have a hard time keeping it all balanced, career, family, everything else on the bucket list, groceries, meal planning, we were talking about at the table. It was always a reluctance of, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can take on one more thing, but I really wanted that chance to do something in our community. And when I came into the club and saw folks like Anita Bryant and Pam McGinnis, just with grace, be able to make sure that they were giving back to their community while also having very important jobs and while also raising amazing families. It was just such a beacon of encouragement to me that I could do it too. And so thank you. I know you didn't see that one coming. And now it's so awesome to see so many women in the club who are also managing careers and families and lots of other things, but still seeing how incredibly important it is to give back and to be a model for others in the community to give back. My hat's off to you guys. And so that's my Rotary.
Thank you very much. And we're going to throw a little male hormone into this and we ask John to stand up and give us his Rotary.
I'm John Federo. I've been in the club about 5 years. Brett was my sponsor, and I believe at the time he sort of snagged me by saying, hey, it's a great place to network, and so I was really interested in that. But I very quickly actually, it was that banner that really struck me when I first came. They started displaying how much our Rotary Club was giving back to Front Royal. For me, personally, my wife and I, a number of years ago, decided that Front Royal is like, this is where roots are getting planted. We moved around a lot when I was younger and first married, but we've now been in Front Royal since 2006. We're officially Virginians, which is great. Front Royals, I guess you could say. So this is where we're raising our children. This is where we're going to be. So for me, seeing the work that Rotary does and the impact on our community is really important, for just for us and with our family as well, to see that we're invested in communities where we hope to build a life for our children to even be able to stay around, which is why I started a business here. We love it here. So I'm really honored to be a part of the club and to help just give back to the place that we fall in love with.
Thank you.
Hey, Lori, we're 40% female. Our club. Our club is.
Oh, 40%. Nice. All right. Well, you know how we always talk about you should like switch chairs, switch tables, and talk to new Rotarians when you come. And that's been very evident today because at my table, we pretty much started a new Instapot fellowship. They were sharing recipes up here, so we should change and switch seats and get some good recipes from these ladies here. I'm hungry and I'm hungry yet, but I got a lot now that I want to cook for dinner. Don't talk about it. Okay. Anyway, we have announcements to do. Do we have anybody from Gala here? I don't think so. Someone on the cruise. Okay, so Kim asked me if no one else was present to make sure that I shared with you that the gala is coming up on the 25th. To make sure that if you want a ticket for the Homestead raffle, that you reach out to her. You can email her, go on and get her information, text her, get a ticket from her. You can Venmo the club, it's Rotary FR, so that you can get a ticket. And we still need sponsors, so please help out with that if you can. And I want to go ahead and pass around about the Strider bikes at Ressie Jeffries. We still need people to sign up for February 15th and 16th. 2 people during their free time, 11:50 to 12:35. So let me pass that around and you can just send that. Ken went yesterday. Ken, will you give us a little bit of yesterday?
So anyway, I went there to see these Strider bikes and these kids. Well, just tell you when I first walked in there, I got so excited to see all these little kids. My kids have been little for a while. It was like I felt like I wanted to just hug them all. And so we got into the gym. That's where they have all these bikes set up. And what they did is they put numbers on all the helmets. So prior to this, they raised the seats properly, adjusted the helmets properly, and everything. So that way, whoever's number 1 would be number 1 for the at that point. So yesterday was the first day they put the pedals on. And so the first time the pedals. And it was such a great experience to see these little kids. First off, the first few laps we did without that. I mean, they just used their legs to do that. That's part of the learning process. And then they got to do the pedals. And it was a very enjoyable day for me. I'm so glad I went. It was just exciting to see these little kids. They were so happy. I mean, just, like, did you see I can do that myself? And it was a great experience. And I recommend I'll sign up for do the same way.
Thank you. Thank you. Ken has some pictures and we'll share those with the club so that you can see all those little kids pedaling their bikes. I also need to let you know that the early bird deadline has been extended. I know I sent out to you that it was the 3rd, and I got news that early bird deadline for registration for district conference has been extended to February 16th. So you still have time to register for conference and go along with all of us. And applications for the Rotary Peace Centers are open until May 15th. So I'm gonna pass that info along to to you as well. You're about being ambassador for Rotary. There are certificates you can earn. We took 40 people and they took 15 for the Rotary fellowships. Okay, so got those. Happy dollars. Who's happy? That's happy. You already said it.
I'm happy,
Yesterday. Not today.
I'm happy. I was happy. I got a couple happy dollars because I'm turning 60 on Monday.
All right.
Grandson is coming into town today. I think his parents are coming too. My wife's really happy about that. And anyway, we'll be celebrating.
Cool.
I'll do a happy dollar. This is my first one, but because you're happy that you're turning 60, I can't say I'm happy to turn halfway to 90, only 45.
Anyone else? All right. Don't forget, don't have cash, you have Venmo. You can be happy if you have Venmo too. So I'll give you a chance to get at the table before once you give us our attendance report for today.
President Lori, follow with your hand. Today we have 25 members, 9 online, and 4 guests. And an individual. Yes. President Lori and fellow Rotarians, I think all of them are now that exchange student from Norway. She's currently still with her big family, and soon we hope she'll be moving to Derek and your family. So we get all the paperwork and house visits started around. Anyway, so here's the young.
Assuming Michelle gets past the background.
Sure, President Lori, fellow Rotarians, my guest is Michael Whitlow. Thrilled to have him here today.
My guest today, Sarah Kowski, and Sarah will be a new member here, if she's not already, soon.
When they get back from the tropics.
Oh, we're just waiting for Tina and Ray to return back from the vacation.
And Michelle, my guest today is Lily Moten, another potential new candidate. We're really excited about her today.
Welcome to our guests. Thank you for being here. All right, without further ado, I get to introduce to you Kaycee, Childress, and coming to Megan Wedding. I'm just gonna let you come up and do your thing, because I know you have lots of good stuff to tell us, and you're tired of listening.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm gonna stand over here and look forward. As she said, my name is Kaycee Childress. I am the president and CEO of United Way of Hope in Shenandoah Valley. And we cover Clark, Frederick, Shenandoah, Page, and now Warren County. As of October 1st, we merged with the Front Royal Warren County United Way, and we are super, super excited. We got some great board members we put together. And we are really excited to be in the area. We're really excited to be working with a lot of fantastic nonprofits. And we're also excited to be able to see what we can do to help those nonprofits band together, work together, and hopefully get some impact grants from us. There we go. So I'm going to talk to you today about the recent United Way merger a little bit, which I already did. ALICE in Virginia. ALICE stands for Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. The Valley Assistance Network, which is one of our key programs, our community impact grants, and then our partnerships and how you can get involved. At the United Way of Home in Shenandoah Valley, we work tirelessly to improve the health, education, financial stability of everyone in the valley. And what do you know about us? We were established in 1946. Our mission is to increase the organized capacity of people to care for one another. Our vision is to be the leader in fostering powerful partnerships to impact the human care issues that matter most to the people in the valley. And then I already went over our service areas with you, and we are governed locally with a 23-member board. And there you can see, I just like to show the strategy. So I have one county in Cardinal. So I show it from everywhere. Alice in Virginia. Who is Alice? Alice is above federal poverty level, but below household survival budget. They are one emergency away from falling into crisis or homelessness. They are low-wage jobs. They are cashiers, they are healthcare workers, security guards, laborers, office administration. They're the person that you stop by when you stop by fast food on the way to take your kid to football practice. They're the person at the window. They're the person at the grocery store checking you out. They're the person at the 7-Eleven when you stop to get gas. They are short on assets and savings, so they don't have what they need for emergencies or for investing in the future, like education, homeownership, and retirement. Households below the Alice poverty threshold. In Warren County, as of 2018, that was 33%. We are expecting new numbers to come out this year, and we're expecting some of these numbers to go up. Frederick County, it was 36, Shenandoah 40, Clark County 41, Page County 48, and Winchester 54. Oops, and that just skipped a lot. I'll do that. There we go. Yeah, it skipped those big spots. So some groups are more likely to be Alice than others. The Hispanic population is about 55% likely to be Alice, about 50% of the population. The Black community is about 55. Under 25 years old, 73% are Alice. Single family headed households with children, 76% are Alice. And all households is 39% throughout the Shenandoah Valley. Many Alice families earn too much to be eligible for public assistance, but they still struggle to meet basic needs for their children. They're much more likely to lack stable housing, quality childcare, early education, private health insurance, home internet access, but they still don't qualify for public assistance programs. When these necessities are at risk, both in short and long term, there are consequences for children. And we are really focused on helping children succeed. So a little bit about our Valley Assistance Network. These lovely ladies are the ladies of our Valley Assistance Network. VAN is a resource and referral program to connect families with community resources. And we provide an easily accessible, coordinated network of services to help families. A lot of times what we would see in the past is that families would have to go to multiple places to get the support they need to pay their power bill, to pay their water bill, to help with their rent. Through the Valley Assistance Network, we can actually do all of that in one place and sometimes over the internet. So it means that those families who are already struggling to make ends meet don't have to miss work, and they get assistance along with them. We also have, we call it a walking resource guide. To give you an idea, in 2021, we served 2,361 households. In 2022, we served 3,531. So that's a 50% increase year over year. To date, 9,697 families have been served. We've helped 23,392 people. We've resolved over 4,500 cases and made over 17,000 referrals. Those numbers that you see there are lower for Warren because last year we weren't working with Warren. We were just helping out if somebody called in for Warren. This year we're so excited. We have Lori Howard, who is based in Warren County in Front Royal. And she is focusing a large part of her time and attention on Warren County to make sure that if anybody needs help, she's getting them referred to Valley Assistance Network. She's getting them what they need when possible. She's also tying in with all the different nonprofits that are here to build those relationships and help in the community. Why families contact bands? 85% of requests are for housing insecurity. And that is either because they need rent or mortgage, or they're worried about their utility bills paid off for the majority of those cases. The rest of things that come to mind are medical, clothing, employment, food, transportation, etc. So these are just a couple examples I want to give you of somebody who would come to the Valley Assistance Network. So Susie, a mother of two, is working at Rubbermaid, and she asked for rent assistance. After talking to her, we realized that she's not just struggling to pay her rent. One of her barriers is to missing work is that her car keeps breaking down. So she doesn't get to work, which means she falls farther and farther behind. She loses money on her paycheck. The auto shop says it's gonna be $600 to fix the car. So we look at other resources such as CCL, FaithWorks, or would she qualify for the Alice Emergency Fund or the ARPA Employment Fund? And that's how we support her. This one really hits home for me. We had a client who came to Van for $642 electric bill. We sent her referral to CCAP for $300 by Unite Us, which is the network that we use. We sent a referral to Healthy Families for $300 by Unite Us. And we sent a referral to FaithWorks for $42 by Unite Us. In the past, that individual would have to go to each one of those organizations during the times that they're open, and they're different times during the week. They would have to get a voucher. They would then take that voucher and go to the next organization, get a voucher from them, go to the next organization, get a voucher from them. Once they had the full bill covered with vouchers, they would then have to circle back and go to all of those organizations again to get the money. By that time, their power bill's been cut off. Their power's been cut off. They've now missed 3 or 4 days of work. We did all of that in basically an hour. Got it all taken care of and got the bill. Since 2020, our resource navigators, when we opened Band, our resource navigators have connected local families with more than $1.8 million in resources. And we are very, very proud of that number. We know that a lot of that is through the partnerships we built, that we're building now in Warren County. And we're so excited that we've been able to help that many people. I mentioned our Alice Emergency Fund. It is a flexible fund that provides one-time assistance to families in need. It is a $500 investment that can be from world to someone who got sick and was out of work for 2 weeks with COVID and they didn't get paid, or they have a car problem that they need to get fixed, or they're not going to be able to go to work. Priority in this fund is giving daycare and transportation assistance, but it can also include medical, housing expenses, and other areas where community resources are not available. Right now, we are in the throes of our community impact grants. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that from when Front Row Warren was doing impact grants. It responds to local need priorities established through the community needs assessment and our Alice report. We distribute resources to limited areas where we can make the biggest impact. Those areas based on those reports are health, physical education, financial stability, and education. The 2022-2023 impact grants, we awarded $540,000 to 36 organizations, nonprofits. 27 agencies were based in Winchester, Frederick, and Clark. 9 agencies were based in Shenandoah and Page. And in 2022, we received $758,000 plus in requests for funding. We expect that number to go up. This year, we had our LOIs submitted. We had 67, I think, agencies submit LOIs. If they all go through, that is going to be a significant increase from last year. I put this up here, not because I'm going to bore you all by reading through all of it, but this is just to give you an overview of what our fund distribution process looks like. We not only have an application process, but we also have an on-site visit where you can go in and actually where our volunteer, what would I call them? Well, there are volunteers who determine the distribution. They go in and they actually see the nonprofits in their element, in action. What are they doing? How do they do it? So they do a site visit. There's also a presentation where we encourage nonprofits to bring either a member of their board or a client. We feel like sometimes getting that additional point of view can really make the difference and can really help an organization shine. And by doing that three-pronged approach, we feel like some organizations are really small. You know, it might be one person in an office, they're not gonna shine on the site visit. But they're gonna shine when they have the presentation, they bring in that person whose life they touch. Some people are incredibly good at writing grants, some people are incredibly good at presentations. So we want everybody to have an opportunity to, in whatever area they excel, to shine. For grant eligibility, you must be a 501c3 nonprofit and Virginia registered. You're directed by a volunteer governing body. And you have to account for funds in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. The organization performs required due financial diligence. They provide health and human services in the United Way and SV catchment area, operate without discrimination, and overhead costs should not exceed 25% of revenue. And they also need to certify that the United Way funds and donations will be used in compliance with all of the applicable anti-terrorism, financing, and asset control laws, et cetera, that are out there. The organization provides the financial due diligence. And we actually, because some of the smaller organizations couldn't do an audit, have a staggered tier of what kind of due diligence they need to provide us. So if you're a really small organization, for example, asking for $5,000 or less, you only have to provide us with receipts. Whereas if you're a big organization, like, let's say, Habitat, then you would need to provide us with a full audit. As I said, I went through the grant evaluation process, the application, the site visit, the panel presentation. We look at, does it align with United Way priority needs? Is there collaboration with other organizations, the program output, the program outcomes, and the program outputs? And there's a difference between outputs and outcomes, and we really stress the outcomes. The outputs are what the organization does. They had a class for children in art, or that was helping them get through difficult times, or they had a program to feed the homeless. Those are the outputs. The outcomes are, how many people did you help? How much difference did you make in the community? Those are the things that our volunteer members who are determining who gets the grants really look at and really focus on. So partnerships, how do I get involved? You can participate in a workplace campaign or decide to run a workplace campaign if your organization doesn't have one. It builds employee morale. Employees can designate to a charity of their choice. So a lot of people don't know this, but you can donate to the United Way and say, I want all the money to go to literacy volunteers. And all of that money will go to literacy volunteers. We make sure that all of those organizations are doing what they're supposed to do with the money, and we forward it on to them. Employees can give more by spreading out the gift payroll deductions. I always tell people, you know what, when I started looking at giving money through payroll deductions, I started looking at how many cups of Starbucks could I give up. It's $5. I could give up a couple of their coffee in the office. I don't need my 2% skim latte with it. There's leadership giving. So there are various levels of leadership giving that you can be a part of. There are also sponsorships and plan giving, and there's also individual giving. But beyond giving dollars, let's talk about why you give. The community impact grants that are supported by donations are used to improve the quality of life throughout the Northern Shenandoah Valley. Your gift combined with others does much more work than any gift that any of us could give on our own. Hence, our campaign this year was Small Act, Big Impact. And you make the decisions. You can also volunteer with United Way to learn more about the needs in our community, to learn how to make a difference each day, or determine how the gifts are invested. Volunteer engagement. We have a lot of opportunities for volunteer engagement. We have Day of Caring, which will be September 22nd this year. We are really excited to bring that to Front Royal Warren. And that is a chance where you can partner with nonprofits. Nonprofits come in and they look at, they give us projects that they feel need to be done. And corporations or groups of individuals come in and sign up and then get to pick what projects they want to do. So it's not just that you're doing a project in the community, but you actually get to pick what that project is. Last year, we had about 600 volunteers who came out on Day of Caring. This year, we're thinking it's gonna be more like 800 because we're adding more in. But it's an amazing day. Everybody I've talked to who's been a part of it said they feel so good when it's done. It brings so much of a sense of community and so much of a sense of giving back that they love it. And we have so many people who come back year over year. We also have Project Connect. We'll be doing one in the north and one in the south this year. You all are in our southern district. Project Connect is a day where Alice families can get all of the resources that they would come to us for and then some in one place on one day. So we have the DMV there. We have jobs there. We have opportunities for education there. You can get an eye exam, you can get an ear exam, you can get your pets vaccinated if that's what you need to do. You can walk away with a food basket, or last year we also gave out cleaning supplies. It is a really great way for those in the community who need to do a whole lot of things to get them done all in one place at one time. We also have committees, our marketing, finance, fund distribution, which fund distribution are the people that work with the impact grants, and community impact committees. We have special events. Next year, we're actually having a gala called the Denim and Diamonds Gala. The money from that is going to be used to support Alice families throughout the northern Shenandoah Valley. We decided on Denim and Diamonds because we know how much ladies like to get dressed up, and a lot of men do not want to wear a penguin suit. So if you want to get dressed up in your fanciest dress and your husband wants to come in his blue jeans, or your significant other wants to come in their blue jeans, fabulous. And maybe they want to come in the penguin suit and you want to come in blue jeans. That's great too. We have workplace campaigns. We also have affinity groups. We have One United, which is a group of women who come together to do projects for the community. And our Women United group specifically focuses on single parents, single moms, and the Alice population. And so, for example, they're getting ready to kick off a mattress and bedding drive that they're going to be doing, collecting air mattresses and bedding, which we will then be disseminating to all of the organizations who need it. So if the thermal shelter needs some, they'll go to the thermal shelter. If it needs to go to DSS, it'll go to DSS. It's whoever needs them at the time, we will deliver to them. And then we have special skills that are always needed, grant writing, graphic design, video production, seriously video production. I mentioned video production. Anyone has skills in video production? We really need that. So you can follow us. Our website is www.unitedwaynsv.org. Facebook, United Way of Northern Shenandoah Valley. There's Twitter and Instagram. We also have LinkedIn that we're getting ready to get back on. So you'll be able to check us out there. And can I answer any questions for you guys? Day of Caring is September 22nd. Come on, there's got to be questions somewhere.
So we participated in Day of Caring. We seem to be mostly focused on residential. But did I hear you say that there are other areas?
There are. So the way we do Day of Caring is any nonprofit that has a project can come to us. So for example, last year we were at the Museum of Shenandoah doing some stuff for them. We did do some residential projects. We were at a daycare center up in Winchester, helping them. They needed some painting and some things done.
I was transferred to the college. With the Day of Caring, we've done cool projects like Boulder Ridge to Veterans Retreat Center. We've done pregnancy care centers. We've done Mount Brown Cemetery, just all been in lots of gravestones and like being graves. I mean, there's some really cool community projects we've been able to do. Much more than residential. There's definitely Boulder Crest and working with that veteran retreat center is really eye-opening.
The part that I really like about it, and we just actually were able to do it in the last couple of years, was make it so that when we open up the projects, that the volunteer groups can pick their projects. Because what we were doing up until recently was we would kind of match the skills, et cetera, that we saw from the volunteer groups to the projects, but now volunteer groups get to pick what they do. So you're really invested in it. So if you want to go work down cleaning up downtown, and that's what you want to do, that's great. If you have skills, you know, in gardening and you want to work on a project that's outside doing something with gardening, you can do that. If you have skills painting or taking care of houses, you can do that. I really love that about it. Anybody else? Very quiet group today. Well, thank you all for your time. I really appreciate it. If there's anybody who has any questions that you think of later, please catch me afterward, and I have some cards if you would like them.
Maybe one last duty to pick out our 10 dollars. Winning ticket is 200627.
Eric.
Read it off there. Okay. All right, our next meeting next week, right back here. We're gonna hear from the RILA youth and RMA Interact, so please come and be supportive of our youth. And we're gonna hear all about what they did at RILA in December. So, and Bianca, will you have stories to share with us at RILA? Megan, you have stories to share with us from RILA? You think you can tell?
Next week.
If you'll stand with me and recite the following text.
Say or do, first is the truth, second is fair and all concerned, third will it build goodwill and friendships.
Have a great week and stay warm. All right. Thank you.
Hey, Lori.